this is Jeff out Gilbert. And it comes with a situation when a person is going to do another company and they can't get going. What's the problem with that and the real reason for that? We'll talk about that. For those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing for over 40 years. 40 years, yes. And I share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. So I started in this business totally broke, sold a junk truck because I had no money to get started. I put $200 into my business, and that was almost 28 years ago, and I've been full-time ever since. So I'm going to acknowledge some great people joining. Rosia from California, nice to see you. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great week. It's Friday. You know, a lot of people celebrate Friday because it's like, hello, Alinea in Tennessee, because it's like, hey man, I don't have to work on the weekend. I got the weekend off. And that is unless you're in network marketing, right? Because that sometimes is the only time you have to work your business. George in New York, good to see you. Jerry West in Buffalo, New York, nice to see you. John Johnson in Baltimore, good to see you. And Randy, I posted a few more questions to your post, so you could check that. Enlighten me. Stephanie Nelson, how are you? It's Illinois, right? Am I right on that? Could be wrong on that. And tonight, by the way, it's Friday, so it's Q&A. So feel free to post a question if you have a question. Oh, from Oregon. Okay. Hopefully not downtown Portland. Alberto in Nashville, Tennessee. Nice to see you. And Gina. Don't remember where you're from, but welcome to the call. Brandy Fisher. That's right, Brandy. Did Confucius say that? You can't chase two rabbits, you'll lose them both. And Daisy Garcia in Miami, nice to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you on the call tonight. It's a Q&A night, so if you post something, George will screenshot it and message it to me, and that way I don't overlook it. Oh, Gina in Middle Tennessee. Okay, I'm in Eastern Tennessee. Nice to have you on the call. Omina from Nigeria, the country of Nigeria. So far, well, I don't know, between you and Tim King. Tim King is in Australia, I believe. Isn't that correct, Tim? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, Tim. Yeah, so you're two different extremes right there. Ricardo, watching live in Portland, Oregon. Okay, another one from Oregon. Nice to see you on the call, Ricardo. So tonight's Friday night. We're going to jump right into this. Okay, so and Judy in Alabama, Yedalai in Northeast India. Now that's way out. You know, she's in Northeast India. That's like imagine India and then another country to the right of it. You know, between Bangladesh and Burma, and that's where she's from, Yedalai. And I've been there one time. Had to get 2 passports to get there, and spent a week there. An amazing experience. Never forget it. Okay, so this is from Randy. BB, nice to see you in San Antonio, Texas. This is good to see you, BB. Randy, am I saying that? Randy Savoy, if that, hopefully I didn't kill the last name. Eduardo in Chicago, nice to see you. Randy says, first he begins it with, long story. So, okay, but he doesn't give me a long story. He just gives me a snapshot, okay? Then I got to figure out, you know, what is the long story. He says, I've been with the same company for a couple of years, and I've been with the same upline for 5 years. Couple of years, 5 years, okay. So I will assume that it was the same upline when he was with a company for a couple of years. We just launched a brand new company back in March, and I am struggling with getting going again. The products are fantastic and the results are coming in like crazy, but for some reason I am struggling with talking to people. Now I understand I've never had that problem in my life because I'm really an outgoing person, but for some reason I am struggling with getting a team put back together and getting things moving. At one time, when I first started in the business 5 years ago, I had about 60 people on my team, and now it's just me, and I'm rebuilding. I'm not sure if that is what has me slowed down because of the fact that I have to start all over again, or if it's just that I'm fearing the rejection of people because I am doubting myself. I know I am capable of doing this, and I just need to get out of my own head and get it done. Randy. Okay. So then he did qualify that he's been with three companies total, current upline for 5 years. Okay, so here's the thing. So Randy, I'm gonna, I don't have all the details here, so obviously my advice is going to be somewhat limited to the lack of facts. Okay, here's the thing. It's not easy to build a network marketing team, period. That is not easy. Yes, we've got superstars out there, all right? These people that mesmerize us, and want to convince us, if I can do it, you can do it. There's a lot of things that we don't know about those people, okay? We really don't. But you're talking to somebody who's been doing this 48 years. I have, been in my company, my last company I joined 21 years ago. So I have over 700,000 distributors. I lose track of the numbers after a long time, but 700,000 in 57 countries. So the thing is, but you're also looking at the same person that prior to joining my last company, I was in 10 different companies over a period of 14 years. Okay? 10 different companies. Now, most of those companies left me. I did not leave them. I was the top leader in a company that no longer exists. So I don't have that pin title anymore. I don't have those residual incomes from the company that I was at the top anymore. They left me. I didn't leave them. I can go back and think back, when I was, if some of you read my book, Reaching the Peak, then you might remember when I was talking about the fact that I had a company. My main income was not network marketing. That was a side gig. That was a secondary income. That was a hobby. I was a hobbyist, not a professional, okay? Like many of you, I was trying to figure it out. And so what happened was that when I lost my main income from my business, I had 2 major accounts and I went into bankruptcy. I realized at that point that I had never really given it the kind of commitment that it really takes. Obviously, I was highly motivated. That's a big factor there, Randy, is finding the motivation, finding the why. We've heard that, They say, find a why that makes you cry. Well, I don't know. I was highly motivated. I just didn't want to remain broke. I wanted to really get on with my life. So the thing is, and after I did that in that company, some of you remember that I went into the house of my dreams in 18 months, went from broke, bankrupt, going into the house of my dreams. But then 5 years later, then the company was sold. The new owners came in like a bunch of idiots and changed the compensation plan, doubled the requirements to motivate us, right? Yeah, it motivated us to look for another company because we knew it was over. And so that's what happened. Did I want to look for another company? No. No, I did not. I was tired of that. I was hoping that was the one. I didn't want to do it again. My gosh, I did not want to do that again. I'm giving you a snapshot of what I went through, okay? Most people would never be able to do this. But not that I'm a Superman, it's just I'm just not a quitter, that's it. I believe in the profession, okay? It's just that a lot of people that start these companies should be put in jail. It should be harder to start a network marketing company. If there is some regulation, maybe it needs to come from there, because in China, for example, you can't go into that country unless you put down at least $1 million security. In case you screw a lot of people, then the government can make it right? There's certain countries that have those requirements. The United States should have more of that. Then people would think twice before starting a company, or they wouldn't have the funds to do it, because a lot of these people that start them, they have their own private motivations. It's about them. It's not about the people that they're going to involve in it. But going back to my situation, so I had to look for another company. Well, here's the problem with that, is that when we're spinning, sometimes we can go from fire to fire. And that's what I did. I went from one fire to the next fire. In other words, after I went through that experience, the next choice was a bad choice. And not saying that this is going to be your case, Randy, but the thing about it is, I joined a telecommunications company. It was a binary, telecommunications company, binary compensation plan. Binaries were new then, and so did okay, but then there was problems with the company. It was very clear that they could not service the amount of business coming in. So someone said, hey, we got this other company that we're going to do. And I said, okay, I'm in. I joined that company. I went to the top of that company. I had, how's that work? Yeah, 7 business centers constantly turning in a binary compensation plan. The company came to me and said, your organization's too big. We're going to have to split it. Can you imagine the owner of a company coming to you telling you that your organization is too big? Why is that a problem? Well, it's because the company was taking a position in the compensation plan. Oh man, you talk about that. Then it became very clear to me. Now it's a game. And long story short, I had to get on a conference call and announce to the leaders when They were so behind paying the people. They had the wrong software to track all the sales in the field and the activity of the field. They couldn't pay them at all. And I had to get on a conference call and announce to the field that it's over. If you send any applications in, credit cards, checks, cancel them immediately. And that was a hard thing for me to do, very hard thing for me to do. I was very heartbroken. And then the owner the very next day gets on and does a conference call, tells everybody I'm a liar. I'm a liar. And that it's not over. And everybody's going, oh, they're breaking out the champagne, they're celebrating. Yes, Jeff's a liar, but our business is saved. And, you know, a month later, he closed the doors. A month later. Yeah, that's right. What an idiot. But guess what I did? I went to another fire. So another person said, hey, we got this going on. So another telecommunications, hey, you know, we're solid. Went over there. Only lasted a short while. Now here's the problem in that. You're always dragging people with you from one company to the next. And you know, the thing is, every time you do that, you lose credibility. But wait, you said the last company was going to be the one, right? And again, it didn't last. And so finally, I said, done. High tech, no check. I'm not doing telecommunications anymore. Forget it. I'm not doing any techie deals. Went to a company out of Canada that had a nutritional product. Yes, it was a binary. And we found a home. Got her income up. Sure enough, in 6 months, they announced, we're going to change the compensation plan. We're paying way too much out in the binary, and we're going to change it this week. Okay. Like to fell out of my chair. I knew then it was time to go, because it was only a matter of time. There would be a mass exodus of people. Their incomes were going to be cut in half. So it was about that time then that I got a phone call in the company I joined 21 years ago. But I'm going to tell you, I didn't want that phone call. And it was from a corporate guy that I had worked with in another company back in, I think it was like 1991. And he called and said, hey, this company is launched. I'm part of the corporate people. I was thinking about you. I'm reaching out to you. I want to talk to you about this product. I thought, I'm not calling you back. All you people lie. You're a bunch of dogs. And if some of you read my book, Reaching the Peak, that's on Amazon. I was out. I lived in a house that was built in 1860, and I was out just painting. And while I was painting, I was thinking, I hate network marketing. All these owners are dogs. We build it, they destroy it. We build it, they destroy it. And that's all I thought about when I was painting, you know. And then finally, you know, this hippie kid who I'd never worked with before joined this company that had this product. I was talking to him on the phone. I said, so you're going to do it? He said, oh, yeah. He said, do you want to do it? I said, no. I said, the name of your product is weird. I mean, what is it about? He said, I don't know. I just joined yesterday. He's going to be my sponsor, right? And he just gave me a hotline to listen to. I called that hotline, listened to it. I called him back. I said, this is exactly what I'm looking for. He said, so you're ready to get going? No. So I'm going back to you, Randy. There, you see, I found something to get started with, but I was not ready to get started by any means. And so he turned me over to his partner that he was working with, a guy in his downline who was frontline to him. And he said, will you follow up with Jeff, okay? Just follow up with him. So that guy was calling me. He called me and said, hey, Mark says you're ready to get started. You know, or you wanted, I said, no. Okay, this is going to be part 2. Because we had a broadcast disruption. I don't understand why we had that, but we're going to see if this will reload. and hopefully it will. Okay, looks like it's starting to reload. Okay, get some acknowledgments out there. That's the first time I've ever seen that happen in Facebook. That's amazing. I've never saw it because I saw all of a sudden the numbers were going down, 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 and then it was like nothing. Kelly, hey, I don't know. That is the first time I've ever seen that happen. And I wish I knew what was the last thing that you heard before you couldn't hear me anymore. Very weird, very weird. I'm going to let it reload. Randy? Oh, you thought it was your internet. So, Randy, what was the last thing you heard me say? And then I'll know where I left off. Isn't that amazing? Sometimes when you think you're talking to some people and then you're all alone in the room, man, it's like, what happened? Hey, Daniel, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. Monica. I was just doing a live and then all of a sudden we had a broadcast disruption. I don't know what that was about. You were talking about them following up with you. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That couldn't have been the last thing you heard. Please. Eden, nice to see you. Man, that's weird. Totally weird. Let me see. Somebody. I'm just sending a message. I'm back. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. That's the first time that's ever happened on a Facebook Live with me, where the broadcast just crashed and burned. So going back to my story, this is part 2. I was starting the replay, and you are live again. I have no idea. Oh, you didn't say she doesn't have any idea, but I think Daniel helped me out. The thing is, so as I mentioned in my story, when those people followed up with me, I finally just said, okay, my start date is, January 1, and that's what I did. And then I went all out. I went from 8 to faint. That is 8 in the morning till I faint every day for 90 days. Now, some of you aren't full-time. You can't do 8 to faint. I get that. But be strategic in your business. And that is that when you work it smart. Don't spend your time with the wrong people. When you make that list, for those of you that are either still working or launching, whatever, when you make that list, look on your list and ask yourself, who are the people on this list that are leaders, they have influence, they're very driven, they're successful, they like to make money, they're movers and shakers. Those are the kind of people that if you go after them first, that's going to generate a lot of business, downlines, teams that are going to, that's called, getting your business off the ground, right? With the right people. So that's who I want to spend my time with. Most people will spend most of their time in this business with the wrong people. And when you have limited time, you can't do that. So that's what I did. And so when I got started, in 90 days, I had 800 people in my downline without bringing a downline into it. That means starting at ground zero. We think about September 11th. You want to know what ground zero is? Go look at the 9/11 memorial in New York City. Thing is huge. Anyway, and then just imagine going 110 stories with it, right? In your business. So that's what I had to do back then, 800 people in 90 days. Because I wanted to create a 90-day story. I wanted to create my story. I also wanted to set the standard for the speed of the team. This is how I work. This is what I do. I'm focused. I have a sense of urgency. I have goals. And when and they're like, oh, okay, so then that's what I'm going to do. Yes, please do that. That's how you grow fast. That's how you get to 800 people in 90 days. Yeah, so, all right, so find the motivation, Randy. That's the thing I would do. Now, I was going to get Andrina from Texas. She said, here's her question. Is it okay to be vulnerable on social media? Absolutely. Matter of fact, that's what people want. They want to see you how you are. They want to see you maybe do things that most people would be too embarrassed to do. They're like, no, there's no way I would get on camera without makeup. Okay. Or there's no way I would let them see my kids do this in the kitchen. Or my kitchen's too sloppy or dirty or whatever. But people just want to see you raw and real. So I think that sells. Any kind of pretense, if it's so well planned and you look so awesome, they're thinking that is so not like me. Okay. And then, so that would be showing your imperfections, right? I think that's what sells. What sells is what most people are not willing to let other people see. And that's what sells. When is the best time to show the compensation plan is the next question. You know what? That's a good question. I don't show the compensation plan because most people, unless they're a professional, if they're a professional, sure, I'm never going to evade a question, right? But what I'm saying is, but when you're onboarding people, that's the last thing you want to do is show the compensation plan. You'll blow them out because their lives are already complicated. And when you look at compensation plans, they look complicated, right? So give them activity examples. Do this and you'll get this. Do it again next month. This is what it looks like. Give them activity examples. In other words, it's like the movie Jerry Maguire. You remember what the football player said to Tom Cruise, Jerry Maguire in that movie? He said, "Show me the money, man. Show me the money." That's all they want to know. What have I got to do to make some money? It doesn't have to be a lot of money. I mean, $500, okay? Just to get it started. I want to see if I can make 500. If I can make 500, I can make 5,000. But I got to make that 500 first. Show me the money. What have I got to do? What are the activity examples? And then George sent me something. See what he's got. Oh, let me see. And again, you can post a question, and I'll do my best to give you my viewpoint on it. Mindy Rosen in New Jersey. How you doing, Mindy? Did I lose you? I know I had you on the first call before it went bad. Jeff, best advice for dealing with a leader that has ego and not coachable. Wow, that's not an easy thing to do, and we always have more of these people than we need. No surprise, there's a lot of politicians out there like that too, right? Yeah, and that's the thing. Ego it gets in the way. You know, I heard EGO, what that stands for. Ego, edging God out. Ego. And is not coachable. You know, sometimes what you have to do is let them crash and burn, but the downside to that is they have a good team under them, and then it hurts them, it hurts you, right? Best thing to do is drop down into that group and work with those people. I think again, you matching your ego, and Mindy doesn't have ego, not unhealthy ego. Ego is good in that if it's a healthy ego. In other words, you shouldn't disparage yourself. You shouldn't look down on yourself. You shouldn't become the biggest critic of yourself or trash yourself. A lot of people do that. So a healthy estimate of ourselves is a good thing, right? And so I think, so with those kind of people, we just have a humble approach, a modest approach. We just be a good example of how to do it and how to be an example in this business. And that is to lead with humility, lead with modesty. But at the same time, some people just feel like, well, that doesn't sell. I mean, network marketing is all about how awesome you are, how cool you are, how much money you're making, and the lifestyle. And, well, again, a lot of people are turned off by a lot of that. They really are, because they've heard so much of it. What they want to really, what resonates with them is who you are. And if you come across as an opposite of that and you don't have that, you're not an egotistical person. You never know with people like that. Even with the ones with ego, they look at you and they say, you know what? It's a better way. She's better. I mean, I like what she does. And because a lot of people with ego are very stressed people, because it's like they always got something to prove. But that's really stressful when you think about it. If you always have something to prove, it's I don't know, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. They're not happy people. Matter of fact, that's why they always have to prove something, because they're very unhappy with what they see in the mirror. Anyway, let's look. Patricia from Guatemala says, why people in Latin America are less predisposed to network marketing. Okay, so you're making a world viewpoint that people in your country, in Guatemala, are less disposed to network marketing. We hear this in any country, doesn't matter what it is, that, people got an attitude about network marketing. That's what we call a worldview. I don't always agree with the worldview, okay? That's just the view that you got. Like, let's just say if I'm prospecting, and let's say if on my list, I ran into maybe the first 3 to 5 calls I got were people that says, is it network marketing? Not interested, clink. You're like, okay. Next person on the list, call them. Is it network marketing? Yeah. Clink. Then all of a sudden, we have this worldview that nobody likes network marketing, when you got 75 people on the list that know very little about network marketing. I'm just saying, be careful with that, because we tend to develop our beliefs based on a few short experiences, just a few experiences, and then we develop this attitude, oh my God, everybody's like that out there. Let's just say that it's true. Let's then quit using the words network marketing. I mean, think about it. Do you really think that people have an issue with the kind of products that you are marketing? No, those products obviously help people in areas of their life, right? That's why they're such great, awesome products that you market. I don't know what products you market, but I'm sure they are that, okay? I'm sure everybody on this call has that. So there's a need. Wouldn't you say there's a need for those products? Obviously, because you joined the company. You probably were a consumer before you were a builder in your company. I'm not saying you were a customer. I'm just saying you were using the product. That was part of your evaluation as to whether this company was a good thing or not, right? So the thing about it is, you were convinced because you enjoyed those products. You say, hey, there's a market for this, right? So number one, there's a market for your products. Now, number two, is there a need for people to earn money? Absolutely. You think people in Guatemala, other than needing the products that you have, need to make money? Absolutely. And there's different ways that you can create income. But in this case, we're talking about that it can become a residual income that can bring just a lot of money into a family and could change their life totally. Is there a problem with that? Absolutely not. Well, then what's the problem here? The problem is the perception of what you do. And we have to be careful because sometimes we create our own problems. We create the wrong perception. We act, or the way we talk about it is that you have to go out and you have to sell products, be a salesman. Some people have a problem with that. We have to understand network marketing is about getting people to consume, not getting people to sell. That is a direct sales business. You are not in the direct sales business, I promise you. I posted something on my Facebook page yesterday, I believe it was, on one incredible leader who's on this call, Yedalai, in Northeast India, and she does that. She actually gets the products together, says a prayer before she goes out, and she goes out like a missionary, door to door, and she is selling products. Beautiful. Love it. That is direct sales. But what most of you are doing, and she does this too, I'm not saying she doesn't build a network marketing business, she does. But most of you are focused on building networks of consumers. So, going back to the objection of network marketing, perhaps it's what you're saying, the words you're using. If you need to change those words and not call it network marketing, but call it dropship marketing or social networking, we have been labeled and called different things based on paradigm shifts we had over the decades. We used to be called direct sales strictly. We used to be called multi-level marketing. Then when the internet came on, then it changed to network marketing. Now social media has come on. We call it social networking. What are we going to call it 10 years from now? Who knows? You get creative with that. But I don't want you to get in this mindset that in your country, people have a problem with network marketing. There's a product for your, there's a market, for your products and services. People want to make money. People want to have a better life. That's what you're selling. But the perception, either on your end or the words that you're doing, the things that you're saying, you might want to analyze that. It's giving the wrong perception and they don't like it. But actually they would join you. So look at that. And then George, I think, sent something here. Let's see. And if you got a question, post it. Oh, Monica. Hey, Monica, how are you? So, the best strategy to prospect cold prospects. I love that, Monica. Cold, you know. Reminds you of Batman. You remember Mr. Freeze, you know? He could, you know, the guy would freeze, you know. Yeah, so, yeah, that's what we used to call it in the old days, you know. Cold market, warm market. Your warm market was the list of contacts you made. Cold market was people that you don't know that you would find through, you know, either lists that you purchased or advertising, and you found people. And I'll tell you right now that it just depends, Monica. I know leaders that spend over $10,000 a month promoting their Facebook public person or business page, if you will. They spend $10,000 a month just putting stuff out there to draw people to them, and that's what they do. You can go really crazy with it. You don't have to spend $10,000 a month though, but just understand it's a pay-for-play page. Your profile page is not. That's free. And so it really just depends on what a person wants to do, what they want to accomplish with it. There's a lot of things that are free. Your profile page is free. So instead of filling up your profile page with distributors in your downline, distributors in your company, which is what most people do, make it I mean, you can always get those people to follow you and just your key drivers are in your Facebook network. And then reserve that space, understanding you're only going to, get 10% penetration or viewership on how many are in your network anyway, for the most part. Fill that with people that you're going to meet in Facebook groups. If you get good at Facebook groups and you start, because you're talking about cold prospects, and going into those groups, not to promote your product, because the admin will kick you out, right, the minute they see you doing that. But you get good at meeting people, bringing value to the group, engaging with people's posts so that they notice you. Oh, that person just commented something, said something very nice about my post. That's cool. Who is she? Things like that. And then you send that person a friend request, and you get to, and just set a goal to how many you want to do, how many you want to add every day. It's all about consistency and numbers, and at the end of the month, it adds up to a lot. And then keep track of it. Have your own system of note-taking with those people and get back with them. Not endless rapport here, but obviously, again, if you're a total stranger and you go right at them to look at your opportunity, keep in mind, people are inundated with stuff all the time. I call it white noise. It's like they got these headphones on, and it's just white noise. It's all this data, everything that's coming at people today. And you're trying to get them to notice what you're doing or ask them to look at it. It will take a little rapport to do that. In other words, who are you? Who are you? Okay, that's what they're wondering. What are you about? But if you've been engaging in some of their posting in their groups, obviously you have something in common. Your beliefs are aligned. Your interests are aligned. Does that make sense? I mean, what happened to the days that it used to be social media? Social meant that we were interested in people and we tried to have a relationship with a person, make a new friend. I mean, if you've got 5,000 people in your Facebook network, they call them friends, and the majority, you don't know anything about any of them. Are they really your friends? Of course not. It's ridiculous. They're not even your contacts. I mean, you're not even at that level. So I think that's what I would recommend that you do. And Andrina says she loves her groups. Anyway, so I hope now, Anna says, hard to get part 2 also. Oh, tell me that's not true. Is everybody hearing me? Give me some thumbs up. Give me some love, okay? Hopefully we're not having a challenge of technology tonight. But anyway, those are some of the thoughts that I would, that I'm sharing with you. And I hope some of you caught part 2, okay? That's right, George. Well, everyone, listen. Today was 9/11, very emotional day for Americans. That's because of the tragedy. And I posted on my page. Okay, thanks, Eden. I posted on my page a song I wrote. After 9/11, I wrote a song called Could It Be? And Could It Be had to do with not forgetting what happened. The names, the faces, and the people that died on that day. It was horrible. But anyway, it's on my page. If you haven't heard the song, you could check it out. It's on YouTube. It's also on iTunes on a CD I wrote called Riverman. It's called Riverman, but I've got Could It Be on that as well. Anyway, just what a day, man. And I can remember when that morning when I woke up, I was having coffee, and And I just walked right into the living room, cut the TV on, and I saw the World Trade Center smoking. And I thought, what is going on? How did they have a fire at the World Trade Center? One time I had been there. I went to the top. Getting on that elevator was a rush. I mean, just going to the top of that building and then looking down, and then the cars looked like ants, you know, and it's just like, wow. I mean, when I was up there, I can remember the feeling that, wow, this is crazy, right? And yeah, that's right, Julie. Yeah, it's 19 years. And and then when I saw that, I thought, well, certainly they have a protocol for this. Certainly they thought about this, how to handle a fire, you know, but I didn't realize, because I didn't see it happen. I didn't see a plane go into it. And then until that second plane hit. And then I thought, oh my gosh, this is all planned. You know, they're being attacked. And I called one of my leaders and said, hey, turn on your TV. And called my upline. I said, turn on your TV. And I'll never forget that day. But at any rate, I wrote it. It's in that song on my page called Could It Be? Check it out. But anyway, everyone have a great weekend. And, you know, spend some meaningful time with your family and love them, appreciate them, because I can think of, you know, all the families that lost family members in 9/11 at the World Trade Center, all those people, those were sons and daughters of people, brothers and sisters. Children had parents that they lost. It was a devastating day, that's for sure. And so it just makes me appreciate that when you're around people, you never know when you're around somebody that it's going to be the last time that you're going to be with them. And how important people are. They really are. So everyone have a great weekend, and I'll give some value out from Rajendra. Nice to see you, Northeast India. I'll put out some value this weekend. Everyone, thanks for jumping on again. Take care.